Hello everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. Today's video is about motorizing our Vestas V100 Model 1 turbine. So we're currently doing it in the 1 to 50 scale. We've had a few model collectors and a few companies wanting to stick a motor into the turbine so they could show it off at trade shows, or even try to stick a generator in it somehow, and that way then have it out in the back garden and it's generating electricity. Now, would it be able to generate much electricity? I couldn't tell you, but if I can figure out and the simple electronics anyways to get this motorized, I'm sure it's a little bit more technical to get a generator to generate electricity, but we will look into that in the future. So here is our prototype versions of the nacelle and our hub, our blade hub. And so we'll start from left to right and we'll go through it. So here's the first version of our nacelle that we did. So we just opened up the front of it so the motor could fit in. It is now I got it off Temu, so it's a 6-volt 12 RPM, so it goes fairly slow to try and mimic the blades going in real time. So that's pretty much how I did it. We'll have the 2 prongs for the motor, and then we'd have the battery would sit in at the back, and then you just hook up the 2 wires at either end, and then depending on if it's red on red and black on black, or red on black and black on red, it'll rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now I know here in Ireland, the wind turbines, they face the wind, whichever way they're blowing, the wind's going into them, and they rotate clockwise. So for me to do clockwise, it'll be, I think it's red on black and black on red for attaching the wires to get that done. So that's how I designed the first hub. And then here is, the nacelle, apologies about that. And here's the hub. So here's the connector for this piece of the motor that rotates. So it pretty much slots in, and there's a grub screw. Now, the first time I designed this, I didn't really have a way to tighten the grub screw on, so I literally just tightened as much as possible and then slipped it in. But then once I had the motor going, after about 5 minutes, the connection between this and that, the grub screw had loosened, so it would fall off. So I had to redesign this. So I added a little hole here at the front for an Allen key to fit in. So the Allen key will fit in and tighten that grub screw. So once I'll pop it on and then I'll tighten it, it won't come off. Now I've tested that. I left it on for about an hour and a half. There was no movement in it at all. So happy with how that one turned out. Now, the only issue with this design then, well, the motor can move forward and back. There's no really place for it to sit. And then for when the nacelle was on top of the towers, sure, it's 1.6 meters, and you had to get on a chair somehow to connect. Well, I was connecting them up because I didn't know how to solder at the time, but they will be soldered, and it's like you just push one of the batteries in to get it going. But I didn't want people standing possibly falling to get it turned on, so I had designed a second version, and this second version is simply, I just added a little indent or a little slot there, and once you push the motor in, this motor is actually fair tight. There's a little increase between this section of the motor and this section, so I'll just need to sand this down slightly. But what happened was it rested up against this side of the wee groove that I had designed. That was that second update. And then the third update, then hopefully the motor will fit into this one for you. Yeah, just about. Tight all squeeze as it is anyways, because I didn't want the motor to move for you guys. And there you can see it's resting up against the slot. So this is the third and final design. I added in this little shelf for the battery pack to rest on. It's probably not necessary, but I just wanted to kind of keep it tidy in the nacelle. And Yeah, I actually need to make a slight little adjustment, make this a little skinnier so it can slot in and slot out without having to put, so easier to get the batteries in and out, because at the moment is a bit of a squeeze and it's a little awkward. And then here is an on-off switch that I wanted to do. So that will be on top of the nacelle, will be up on top of the towers, and then on the bottom then you have your on-off switch. It's pretty much just a push fit at the moment. It's a very tight squeeze. But yeah, that'll be pushed in. So if you just want to turn it on, turn it off. Okay. Well, you know what I mean. It'll be there. And instead of having someone to get up on a chair and put a battery in or connect two wires, it's literally just flick it on, flick it off. So that's the final design of that. And then I kept the face here smooth compared to the original design. So it's just a nice smooth little rotation. There's not much friction going on between the two of them. Yeah, so thanks to Timu, I had ordered a few extra bits, so I was doing a bit of practicing soldering there yesterday. And here's my attempt of putting the loop together. So we'll have the battery pack that would sit like such, and then you'd have the on-off switch that will sit down along here under the nacelle. And if I can get this wire in, get the two black ones, then we'll connect up to the motor and get it going. So if I can get this fella out, that's tight all squeezing there. Now, got that out. So see if my handiness works, because I actually didn't test this yet. I literally just soldered it together and then I went in for dinner and I've completely forgotten about it. So what I'll do is, this wire's a little frazzled. If I can just, and of course this one comes off when I want to do it. So will we get a little hum of the motor going? We will. And bring it up close. Oh, came off. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is how we will get all of this. So yeah, I'll show you a quick clip now of my first design of the motor and how it's very dodgy for it to be turned on and off. And then after that, then I will show you the finished product. Right, I am back from putting this all together. So I have all the wires soldered up and we've done black to red and red to black. So the motor will rotate clockwise. Yeah, so I just have a lid to put on this, and then at the bottom we have the on off switch. So it's currently off, and I flick it on and I flick it off again. There you go, on off. What I'll do now is I'll put this on the wind turbine and I'll attach the hub to it, and we'll the first section of the blade into each of the holes, and I will show you that up and going. Now guys, I have the turbine assembled. We're just going to do one section of the blade, as the room doesn't have enough ceiling height for the whole turbine to put together. So without further ado, now, what do you think of that, guys? And there's our 1/5 scale Vestas V100 wind turbine motorized. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Now guys, we are over in the house. Thankfully the house has a vaulted ceiling, so we can showcase our model wind turbine indoors and not outside. For all of you who know Ireland, it's a very wet spot, and it's currently raining there about 10 minutes ago and slowly sunny now. So here are all the components for the model wind turbine. We have the large base, we have our 3 threaded rods. There's 2 connectors for the rods to join up, which go through the towers. And top tower then we have the nacelle. And I showed you earlier on with this motorized now and the connection into the hub. As such, now I didn't show you this, but it's just a bit of a lid that I had designed for the nacelle so it can hide it all electronics nicely. It slots into place, and then you can just use a little pen or a knife or something to just wedge it out there. Hides it all nicely. So yeah, I'll get building on this now. So there's 3 threaded rods. We have one that's very short, which I think is 40 centimeters, and then the other 2 are 60 centimeters. So let's screw this one on first. Just pretty much rotates all the way around, and then if you can see on camera, there's an 8mm nut that we screw this into to make sure it is nice and sturdy. And as you can see there, it needs banging down a little bit, pushed out, but won't be an issue. So pretty much towers slot in like that. The threaded connector. Now these are M8 and they're 30 mils in length. And again, you screw them nice and tight, keep them nice and solid. And that's my phone. 1 second, guys. Knock it off. Now, apologies about that. We shall continue. So, our second threaded rod, simple, screws into the rod connector, and then tower number 2. Slot that. And then we get the second threaded rod connector. Just want to play ball with me at the moment. Buttons and screwing. Sugar. Oh, sugar. Oh, we'll try that again. Hopefully this time it'll work fine. Right, that's not playing ball, so what I'll do is switch those out and keep this top one. Hopefully this one will play ball with me. Maybe just needs to tidy up that connection on the threaded rod, clean it up a little bit because I did cut them. Tight. Perfect. Now just trying to line up the rod with the hole at the top of the tower. Perfect. Of course this is going to make long. There we go. And then last but not least, which is the last section. And finish that. Perfect. bring another nut with me? No, I didn't. Right, just for the video, it should be grand. From there on, let's see our cute stairs here at the base. Then we'll check our cell, we'll take out the Allen key that I used to store. Put it back on. And see what I have it in here. A little air cooler. Now, fits perfectly. There's our nacelle on top. Now it's a little loose because I don't have the top perfectly. Yeah. I'll do it for the video. Blades, pretty much ready to slot into the nacelle, so I open the nacelle face towards me, and then the blade facing down towards the ground. Perfect. And that's pretty much how a model wind turbine is assembled. And there are just a push fit in, and if you want yourself to secure it with glue, that is no problem. Now to get these to line up is the next thing. I think it's roughly there. There we go, that's perfect. Now I'll get my Allen key. We'll tighten the rope screw. And that is our model turbine assembled. Didn't take me 2 minutes. And then that should work it. I'll stay beside it just because it isn't fully secured down here as I like, because I don't have the nut. But yeah. Thank you all for watching, guys. Any comments on it, do leave. Any questions, do leave it in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video, do please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Yeah, all the best.